world is hungry for white gold, lithium. Silvery white metal powering our electric vehicles, our smartphones, our entire green energy transition. It promises a cleaner future, a decarbonized world. But for a region known as the Lithium Triangle, a vast, arid expanse spanning Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile, this promise comes with a heavy price. This isn't just about mining. This is about power, sovereignty, and a new scramble for resources that eerily echoes the colonial past. This is the geopolitics of lithium, seen through an anti-imperialist lens. It's happening right now in the heart of South America. The numbers tell a powerful story. The Lithium Triangle countries Argentina, Bolivia, Chile collectively hold approximately 58% of the world's known lithium reserves and 53% of identified reserves. South America is poised to become the world's largest lithium-producing region by 2027, accounting for 30% of global supply. This isn't just a large deposit, it's a unique type of deposit. Vast underground brine reservoirs. This makes extraction different, often relying on massive evaporation ponds. A method that has both economic advantages and severe environmental consequences, which we'll get to. The global demand for lithium is exploding. Forecasts suggest lithium demand could triple to 2.4 million tons LCE, lithium carbonate equivalent, by 2030. Why? Electric vehicles, grid-scale batteries, consumer electronics. The West, eager to decarbonize and reduce reliance on fossil fuels, sees these salt flats as the key to its green future. But at what cost to the nations that actually possess these resources? This green transition is unfolding in a way that feels disturbingly familiar. Just as in centuries past, external powers are rushing in, seeking to control the raw materials vital to their industrial ambitions. Only this time, it's not gold and silver for empires, but white gold for a new era of global capitalism. While Western companies like Albemarle and Levin, both from United States, have long been present, China has rapidly cemented its position. By 2024, China controlled approximately 60% of global lithium processing capacity and 77% of battery cell manufacturing. This strategic positioning gives Chinese firms immense leverage. We see this play out directly in the Lithium Triangle, in Argentina. Chinese companies like Ganfeng Lithium and Zijin Mining have made significant investments. Ganfeng's $962 million investment in the Pozuelos and Pastos Grandes projects, and CATL $1.4 billion agreement with Argentina's YPF to develop the Salar del Hombre Muerto by 2028, producing 30,000 tons annually. Argentina's production itself saw an 87.5% increase in 2024. It's aiming for a 75% increase to 130,800 tons LCE by 2025, reaching an estimated 10.5% of global market share. Policies under President Milei, such as slashing mining royalties from 8% to 4% for large projects and streamlining permitting, are actively attracting this foreign capital. In Chile, which has traditionally maintained stricter state control, major players like SQM and Albemarle dominate. In April 2023, Chile announced plans for a national lithium strategy, aiming for greater state participation and control, potentially reshaping global supply chains. The state-owned copper company Codelco is actively negotiating with SQM. Bolivia has historically been the most resistant to foreign control. The strong emphasis on state-led development through YLB, Yacimientos de Litio Bolivianos. However, recent agreements like the 2024 association contract with Russia's Uranium One Group raise red flags. While YLB holds a majority stake, UOG reportedly retains plant ownership and controls marketing rights. This deal has been heavily criticized for potentially burdening Bolivia with construction costs. While UOG reaps the profits, it's echoing historical patterns of unequal partnerships. This isn't just about foreign companies extracting raw materials. It's about a complex web of control over the entire value chain. From mining to processing to battery manufacturing, the true value, the high-tech, high-profit segments, often remain firmly in the hands of global corporations and their home nations. While the world talks about green energy, the reality on the ground in the Lithium Triangle is far from green. Lithium extraction, especially from brine, is incredibly water-intensive in some of the world's driest regions. To produce 1 ton of lithium, approximately 2 million liters of water are consumed. In the Salar de Atacama, Chile, water levels have fallen by more than 10 meters in the last 15 years, and the salt flat is sinking at a rate of 1 to 2 centimeters per year. This has led to water scarcity. Wells are drying up, impacting local communities and traditional farming and herding. A 2025 study highlighted that all but one of 28 basins in the Lithium Triangle should be classified as critically water scarce. Even without considering future mining demands, ecosystem degradation. Fragile desert ecosystems, including unique wetlands and lagoons, are being destroyed, affecting flora, fauna, and crucial bird populations like flamingos. Contamination. The chemical processes involved in refining can lead to contamination of remaining water sources. Beyond the environmental toll, there's a profound social cost. Indigenous communities who have lived on these lands for centuries often face displacement and loss of livelihoods. Traditional practices are disrupted, and their ancestral lands are taken over, often without adequate consultation or recognition of their land rights. Lack of participation and consent. Despite international guidelines, communities often have limited power in decision-making processes, leading to feelings of exclusion and injustice. Unequal distribution of benefits. While companies report billions in revenue, local communities rarely see proportional gains, fostering resentment and social conflict. Erosion of cultural heritage. Sacred sites become inaccessible. Traditional ways of life tied to the land and water are threatened. This creates a dangerous paradox. A green transition in the global north built upon environmental and social degradation in the global south. It's a classic example of environmental injustice. But the narrative isn't just about exploitation. There's a growing pushback from within the Lithium Triangle. Chile's national lithium strategy announced in April 2023 about its intention to move towards greater state control over lithium. The aim is for the state to hold majority stakes in future projects, working in partnership with private firms, but with the state retaining ultimate control. This move is driven by a desire to capture more value, ensure environmental protection, and benefit its citizens directly. Bolivia's long-standing state control. Bolivia has historically championed state control over its natural resources, a legacy of its anti-imperialist movements. While facing challenges and international pressure, the Bolivian government continues to advocate for its own lithium development. Though recent agreements highlight the complexities and internal debates, Bolivia continues to push for an OPEC-like organization for lithium producers. Argentina's complex path. Argentina, while currently more open to foreign investment, also grapples with the question of how to maximize benefits for its people. Debates over royalty rates and local participation are ongoing, especially as some provinces attract significant foreign capital. The idea of a regional bloc. The concept of an OPEC for lithium, a regional organization to coordinate production, pricing, and perhaps even processing, has been floated by Bolivia for years and gains traction among some South American leaders. Such a bloc could give these nations much-needed leverage against powerful multinational corporations and consuming nations. Challenging the current extractive model. There's also a growing focus on more sustainable extraction methods like direct lithium extraction, DLE. While DLE promises less water consumption and a smaller environmental footprint, it's still largely experimental, energy-intensive, and its long-term environmental impacts are still being studied. The challenge is ensuring these technologies genuinely benefit local communities and don't become another means of external control. The Lithium Triangle isn't just about lithium. It's a new front in the intensifying geopolitical rivalry between the United States and China. China's strategic investments throughout South America are part of a broader plan to secure critical minerals and dominate the global clean energy supply chain. Its companies are integrated across the value chain, giving Beijing immense control. The United States, concerned about China's lead, is attempting to reassert its influence. This includes diplomatic pressure, offers of non-ethical investment, and even military posturing. For instance, discussions around a permanent U.S. naval base in Argentina. In Ushuaia, and concerns raised by U.S. Southcom about Chinese space tracking stations in Argentina are indicative of this broader strategic competition. This competition isn't always about the direct economic benefits for South America, but about securing access and denying rivals. For the Lithium Triangle nations, this often presents a false choice: align with one imperial power over another. Both options carry risks of external dependency and exploitation. Despite everything that the United States has brought in terms of exploitation and barbarism to the region, the challenge is to forge an independent path. The rhetoric of de-risking supply chains in the West often translates into seeking new sources of raw materials without addressing the fundamental power imbalances or the environmental and social costs incurred by the producing nations. It's about securing their energy transition, not necessarily a just global energy transition. So what would a truly anti-imperialist future for the Lithium Triangle look like? Beyond extraction, it would mean moving beyond simply exporting raw materials. It would mean investing in domestic processing, battery manufacturing, and even electric vehicle production within South America, creating jobs and retaining value. Chile's initiative to encourage domestic battery component manufacturing, potentially creating 5,000 new jobs by 2027, is a step in this direction. Full sovereignty and control. Real control over national resources, deciding the pace and terms of extraction, ensuring fair revenues, and prioritizing the well-being of local communities and the environment above corporate profits. Community-led development. Meaningful consultation and free prior and informed consent from indigenous communities, ensuring their rights and traditional knowledge are respected. Environmental responsibility. Adopting and enforcing the highest environmental standards, regardless of the investor's origin, and exploring truly sustainable extraction methods. Regional cooperation. Strengthening regional blocs and cooperation to negotiate collectively with global powers rather than being picked off individually. A lithium OPEC might seem ambitious, but it represents a unified front against external pressures. This vision isn't easy to achieve. It requires political will, strong institutions, and a sustained challenge to powerful global interests. But it's essential for South America to break free from the historical patterns of resource curse and neocolonialism. The global energy transition is necessary, but it must not be built on the exploitation of the global South. The Lithium Triangle stands at a crossroads, potential engine of sustainable development, or another chapter in the long, painful history of resource plunder. The choices made today in Argentina, Bolivia, and Chile will not only shape their future, but the very nature of our global green revolution. Will it be a truly just transition, or will the white gold continue to fuel an unequal world? The answer depends on solidarity, vigilance, and the unwavering demand for sovereignty. And don't forget, like the video and subscribe the channel to keep thinking the world how it really is.